tell me what you're drinking. Come on in, grab your cup, tell me what you're drinking, and we have some great information to give to you tonight. I'm always excited about my topics. I'm always excited about seeing you guys here on Tuesday. So thank you so much for coming in. I'm drinking lemon ginger again. I seem to always grab this. I really like this one, lemon ginger, and has lots of benefits. Hey mom, hey honey, thanks for joining again. These have antioxidants, a lot of great things for your immune system. I always grab this tea bag. I have lots of teas, but I always love the way this tastes. Hi mom. Okay, welcome. I know mom, you probably have your tea. I almost grabbed some green tea tonight, and I grabbed my lemon ginger. As you all know, ginger is really good for inflammation, immune system. Ginger is full of benefits, and lemon, as you all know as well. I have had this about 3 times, so you guys know what this does. I always like to have tea before bed, so tell me what you're drinking and come on in. Thanks for joining. I'm Sybil Green Padilla. I'm a licensed insurance agent, licensed in 50 states, and I'm here to provide free information for you in a nice ambiance, some nice music, and we can just talk and not feel so pressured. Insurance can be a very confusing, it could be a very complicated thing to talk about. So I wanted to come on and provide some real good information for you in a non-invasive way where you can enjoy it and where you can get understanding. You can ask questions. Hey Shalita, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. So we're going to get started. I have a lot of information here. I'm so excited about this topic. This is Beneficiary Rules. Tell me what you guys are drinking when you come on in. We're going to talk about beneficiary rules and what things to avoid. I have 7 points, and I want to get this over in 15 minutes. And as a disclaimer, in 15 minutes, I'm not able to give you all the information you want, but please feel free to leave questions. I do answer questions after the live, and if I don't have the answer, I always say I'll get it for you. I'm a solution specialist, so that's what I do. So I want to jump right into it about beneficiaries. This is a question I get asked a lot about beneficiaries. And a beneficiary, guys, is any person or entity that is going to receive funds or assets or property or other benefits from a trust or will or a life insurance policy. So these are the people that are going to be responsible or who are going to receive your monies upon death to take care of final expenses, to take care of whatever they need to take care of your children or whatever they need to take care of. This is a beneficiary. So this is a real important topic. I get a lot of questions on it. So that's what a beneficiary is. And there's 7 things that I wrote that I want you not to make the mistake on this. Very important subject. That's right, Mom. Because this person is going to be in charge. And you want, a responsible person. You want someone you can trust. So we're going to talk about those things. So number 1, we're going to jump right in. Always keep your policy up to date. Yeah, always keep your policy up to date. I can't tell you how many horror stories about husbands that remarried and forgot to take their wife off their ex-wife off the life insurance policy. So when they died, guess who got the money? You all put it in the comments. We'll take a sip to that. Yeah, someone reliable needs to be the beneficiary. So the ex-wife ends up getting the money, and the husband has remarried and forgot to change his policy and put the new wife on there. So these can be pretty traumatic for the wife. Needless to say, the ex-wife gets the money, and she probably, depending on the relationship, may not contribute anything to the final expenses of that husband. So always keep the policies up to date. Just check and make sure that you have who you want. Like Mom said, someone reliable, someone you can trust, someone, that you can, rely on to take care of your business. I always encourage people to have secondary beneficiaries. A lot of people just say, oh, just put my wife on there, but they don't put anybody secondary. And I say, sir, or ma'am, it's really important that you consider putting a secondary beneficiary on there. Or you might have heard of contingent beneficiary. That's a second person that you put on the life insurance policy if by chance the primary passes or dies before the insured dies. Or say if, it's a husband and the husband dies before the wife, or say both you and the husband die together, then the money needs to go to a secondary person. A lot of people don't have contingent, so when that thing happens where both of them pass, then what happens is the money goes into the estate and it gets all tied up in the cost of probate and all of that. The XY. So it gets tied up into all those things. So you want to avoid that by making sure you have a primary beneficiary. That's your main person. And you can have more than one primary beneficiary, believe it or not. You can have, however many beneficiaries you want. I know some companies limit to 4, some limit to 6. It's just depending on the company. You can divide it up as long as it adds up to 100%. You can do 33.33% for 3 people, or 33.34, and then 33.33, 33.33. Or you can divide it up however you want, as long as it comes to 100%. And you can also have more than one contingent beneficiary. Just make sure you know that it would be divided up by that percentage, okay? So that was not my number 2 point. Always have secondary beneficiaries, okay? So number 1, keep your policy up to date, so someone doesn't get your money that you don't want them to get your money. Always have a secondary beneficiary. Number 3, never name minor children as your beneficiaries. Hey guys, this is a big one. Never name children as your minor children. Now that's under 18. Real important, because a lot of people, I want my children to get the money, but if they're under 18, they're minors and they do not pay claim benefits to minors. So you want to make sure the beneficiaries are at least 18 or older. Okay. And if you definitely, you want the children to have the money, you can set up a trust. Now that's a whole nother conversation. It's going to take more than 15 minutes. But you can put, if you want those minor children, you can put them in put their names in a trust. My suggestion would be have a guardian, put a guardian in place for them. That means somebody, of course, is over 18, like we're saying, that is reliable, that you trust, that you know that will do right by your children. So you can have a guardian set up. That would be my suggestion. Now, a lot of people don't like, I had a lot of people say, I don't trust anybody. Well, you might need to set up something with a trust of some kind. Now, I won't go into that as much. A trust distributes the monies after the child is old enough. So if you do have your minor and say you die, that money is going to be held up until that person reaches 18. So yeah, that's a big one, right? We don't want to get our money. You don't want to have your money tied up into the estates, okay? And your children and nobody is getting the money that you wanted them to have. Number 4, never, hey Marvon, thanks for joining. Never name the estate as your beneficiary. Some people like to do that. It'll just leave my estate as my beneficiary, because that leaves money up for grabs for your creditors. You don't want that. You don't want your creditors getting your insurance money, because if it goes to the estate, then they're going to make sure everybody gets paid who you owe before your family would get that. So you don't ever want the estate to be named as your beneficiary. Okay. And number 5, we're doing pretty good here. Never name, this is a big one too, never name a beneficiary who's dependent on government assistance as your beneficiaries. This is a big one, guys. You have loved ones that you know are on maybe welfare or Medicaid or disability, and they're getting substance from the government. If you leave your insurance policy to them as your beneficiary, that could actually hurt them from getting those benefits. That can cut their benefits off. They won't be able to get their disability checks anymore. They won't be able to get their government assistance anymore because, they have a large sum of money that they just got. So the state is going to take them off and say, well, hey, you can use that life insurance money you just got. So be mindful of that when you're wanting to put them, and you don't mean any harm because you just want to be a blessing to them, but that'll mess up things for them. So keep that in mind. That's number 5. And number 6, specify details for your beneficiary. And I did talk about that, the percentages that you want each of them to get. Be detailed about that. And 7, the will never exceeds the life insurance policy. So wills are very important, guys. You definitely need that. Wills are very important. Wills actually show how you want your affairs to be handled and how you want your assets to be distributed. That's a will. You would go through legal advice. Don't have a lot of time to talk about that, but you definitely need a will. You need a trust. A trust is a fiduciary or a relationship which you give someone in charge of your trust when you die. So for example, say for instance you have disabled children. Remember I told you don't leave that with them because that'll cut off their check. What you want to do is set up a trust or fiduciary relationship where that person can grab the trust, use that money to take care of your disabled child. Okay, so it's a lot of things in there. I hope you kind of get that. So the person that you set up as your trustee, the person who's going to follow those orders that you have created or that you have put in place, they are going to go and use that trust money to take care of the third party, which is your child, okay, or your house or whatever you want them to do. So that's a whole nother tea time, trust and wills. So that's a whole nother tea time. So that will be what I wanted to say on that one, okay? And also too, and I think I did all 7. So remember, always keep your policy up to date. Always have a secondary beneficiary. Always put more than one beneficiary, a primary and a secondary. Never name your minor children as beneficiaries because they won't get it if they're under 18. So set up a trust fund for them or a guardian. Put a guardian in place. Never name your estate as your beneficiary because that money would go to the creditors and everything first before your family would receive it. Specify details for your beneficiaries, the percentage. Don't name your beneficiary person who's on government assistance, disability, things like that, because if they get all that insurance money, that'll cut off their benefits. So you don't want to do that. Okay. And also remember, the will doesn't overkill the life insurance policy. Both of them are important. And again, we'll have another tea time totally on that. So make sure you have your affairs in order. Make sure on your bank accounts you put a paid on death, POD. It's called POD. When you die, you want to make sure the bank accounts are in place, a POD or transferred on death. That is necessary on banks. When I used to work at Wells Fargo, we used to tell people that to put a POD on there, paid on death. That's the person who gets the money after you die. Okay, if that person is not on there, it can be a big issue. And I hope that I can get a special someone to come on and talk about that who's been in the banking industry for a while. I'm working on seeing if I can get her to come and talk to you on Tuesday. And but that is important as well, having your affairs in order and setting up your beneficiaries properly. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's so hard to get 15 minutes in. So I hope you enjoyed that. Ask me any questions. You can reach me. I think I left all that stuff at the bottom or the top. You can reach me by email. You can reach me by phone. And just ask me any questions. I do free lunch and learns. I also do free policy reviews. You can get a no obligation quote. Whatever you need, I'm here for your service. That's why I'm doing this, so that I can serve you and provide you with some free information. Okay, so I love you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. And let's take a sip. Thank you for all the love. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday Tea Time. Bye-bye.